Hey, welcome back to Tetris Tuesdays at 10. I'm Ryan. So, we've done all sorts of Tetrises so far, and I think, lately has been an exercise in sequelization, while I mispronounce a word that maybe doesn't exist. In that, Tetris was huge. It exploded, was on everything. The rights got figured out. It was on a few less things. But then the process began of how do we make a Tetris 2, essentially. And Super Tetris we did, was it last week? We've done it recently. I think that was a stab at it. We've got fewer people throwing their developer know-how into the pot. And one of those people eventually was a huge fan and developer by the name of Tsunekaze Ishihara, who is currently president of the Pokemon Company, would go on to develop Pokemon, and I guess worked on a fair amount of games. Mario, Wario, Earthbound. Ishihara founded the development company Creatures Inc. with assistance from Satoru Iwata. So he wasn't quite that huge yet, but he was a huge Tetris fan. And I think they talk about this a little bit in Tetris Forever. In fact, Tetris 2 Bomblis, the game we're going to play, is available in Tetris Forever. So just go get Tetris Forever, if I haven't said that before. But we're going to do the straight up Famicom emulation, not emulation. My analog pocket here, so it's an FPGA. So we're going to do the actual version of the game as it came out on the Famicom, even though I could just boot up Tetris Forever. Thought about it, but you know me and my emulations, which I'm not doing because this is an FPGA. Have I mentioned I'm more of a fan than an expert? Have I done that recently in this particular video series? Maybe not. Let's do that now. I'm more of a fan than an expert. I'm playing a new Tetris every single week, new in quotation marks, and this week we're going to do Tetris 2, which is kind of the first, at least in name, actual sequel, something that they decided to actually call Tetris 2, and I'm not sure it was ready for it, honestly. They're the ones that decide. Speaking of they, I'm talking about BPS, the people who did have the console rights at the time. So why this story is a little unique is because Tsunekaze Ishihara, in being a fan, had planned to, fan and developer, had planned to go to the USSR and get the rights like Hank Rogers had planned and did before Ishihara was able to. So beat him to the punch. Instead, he just wrote a book called How to Score 100,000 Points in Tetris, and then met Koichi Nakamura, who together had founded, I don't know the other founder, but together with other founder, created Chunsoft, which was the actual developer for this kind of version of Tetris that came to be called Bomblis, because he took the game to Rogers, or Rogers found him. I can't remember, one or the other. I think in Tetris Forever, in some of the Talking Head interviews, Hank Rogers talks about how he could have just sued the game out of his existence because it was an obvious clone or knockoff or whatever, but instead took it under the umbrella of BPS, or extended the license and released Tetris 2 alongside it. So instead of just like Bomblis, they were like, okay, well, let's put an actual Tetris with it. And again, they decided to call it Tetris 2, even though there's not a lot of difference. It is a much more beautiful and fine-tuned and refined version of the game. It's almost hard to believe the Tetris version, in fact, came out on the same console. Like, we're still on the Famicom, we're still on the Nintendo Entertainment System for all intents and purposes. Even though this, I don't think Tetris 2 ever came out in the States. Bomblis may have. Not on the Nintendo, that is, anyways. There's Super Nintendo versions of both of these that we'll probably end up playing because I always go back when there was ever a game that was like remastered, released on the Super Nintendo. I always think about Super Mario All-Stars and how like Super Mario Brothers was on the Super Nintendo, and it was like different but the same. But so it's interesting to me for that reason, even though maybe developmentally it's not huge, but you could say the same for Tetris 2 here. So let's go. And so one of the other things, if I don't talk for a long time about things that are interesting to only me, then what am I even doing? But if you've dug into the Tetris Wiki, again, shout out and thank you as always. But if you've dug into that spot at all, you may have at some time seen a picture like this. And what this illustrates is the rotation system at play in any particular game. What this exact picture illustrates is the SRS, or the super rotation system, which is the current rotation system that you're going to see in every legitimate Tetris, every officially licensed Tetris game, because this is set forth by the Tetris company, by Hank Rogers and whatnot. So I was curious when this actually started happening, and I think, again, Tetris Forever might have spoiled that a little bit for me, but had it not, I would have discovered that with Tetris 2, they had just begun. Like, this is still separate. It's called the BPS rotation system. What you're looking at right there is not actually what the rotation system is in this Tetris 2 that we're going to play. But it was the beginning of this. There are a lot of similarities. In fact, the only real thing that would change was 2 years later with Tetris Battle Gaiden. BPS started the spawn rotation of the T, L, and J Tetraminos so that they spawned flat side first. And in 2001, Tetris Worlds, the wall kick system was introduced, and SRS took its final form. So you're going to see the precursor of that in Tetris 2 today. So I thought that was interesting. Prove me wrong. But it's always cool to see, for me, like when we're nearing like these kind of milestones to the game as we go. It's part of the reason I'm playing these games, is to experience that firsthand in a way. So let's actually experience it firsthand in a way. Going to my analog pocket here. Oh, actually, maybe I should cue this up a little bit first. Give me a second. Choose my emulator, which probably should be just this fine, yeah. I switched emulators when we did Nintendo World Championships because there was only one that it would work with real well. So it's got music right off the bat. That's why I'm making sure I start before the title screen here. I have poked around a tiny bit, so let's go. And I don't know what you think about when you see that logo and hear that sound, but I think that this game could possibly take several hours if you've been watching any of the BPS iterations. I don't think this is actually one of those times, but I've experiencing a bit of trauma or PTSD with that logo combination now. Turn me up. I can barely hear the thing. I'm gonna let this play until, because it's very happy, quite the jaunty tune, but right, here's the bombs. Oh, I forgot. I did poke around so much that I created a name for myself, but it was the standard name. Let's create a real one, in that I can still only do, I think, 3 initials, so stick with the Rai-Ah. And it actually starts you out, default is the cursors on the Bomblis screen, which, spoiler, I really like Bomblis. I like the puzzle iteration more. I don't know if that's really going to play for the stream, so we might still just do the contest version. But either way, we're going to start with Tetris 2, essentially, which seems like a marketing bit, since the 2 isn't showing up anywhere on the actual Tetris game here. So the types haven't changed. In fact, if anything, they're a little less featured because I can't choose the music, essentially. But let's give a standard marathon. Did the original Tetris go up to 20? That seems high. I'm gonna start at 0 still. The first thing you kind of notice is that it's real smooth. Oh, I wonder if there's hard drops in this already. Like, there's a lot more frames of animation while the piece drops there. I don't think that essentially affects the spawn delay, or what would they call that? The lock delay? Actually, don't know. Let's see. Lock delay. Should lock. Okay, yeah, still locks. Didn't really have a chance to move. The music is good, though. Should I not be able to choose it, at least it's good. Why so many O pieces already? Oh, no wall kicks. Gave me a sound for it. Or maybe that's just because I tried to rotate it into it. Well, that'll work. Oh yeah, if I try to go past the wall, it gives me a good chunk sound, like I hit the wall. Chunk. So yeah, I can almost picture the design meeting with this game where they're like, okay, how can we really... I don't know if the first Tetris for NES was put out on any sort of a time crunch, you know? There obviously was the issue with the rights, so I don't know if they were really in a rush to get that thing out or what, but... this does feel like they took their time and, you know, had a big long list of, well, what if this? What if we made it better by doing this? And I think they did. The delayed auto repeat is nice and quick, so... Although it does feel, the fact that the falling has additional or extra or more frames of animation kind of makes it feel like it's going faster a little bit, or it actually is, which wouldn't surprise me. Happens a lot with sequels, especially Tetris, where, you know, you've got the grandmasters and stuff like that, like people that are actually very good at the game. To some extent, they want to make a game for those people, the diehards. So they make a game that's very hard. This was a... Guitar Hero was one of these. They made... Well, okay. They made a game that was largely for everybody, unless you wanted to like get all the achievements or beat everything on expert. You know, they'd throw in a song or two like Through the Fire and Flames, and you would just never be able to complete the game, but I'm not bitter. Oh, okay. So it did, there was a little bit of forgiveness with the rotation there. As long as I was continuing to rotate. I don't think we're going full on unlimited. Ooh, I got denied on the wall kick there. Oh no. Oh no. Wow, I'm really pooping the bed early on this one, huh? Thought I wasn't gonna make that. Good thing it didn't matter. Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, the delayed repeat is actually pretty nice. But if I level up, I'm gonna be in trouble. Nah, overdid it. You can rotate both ways? Yeah, I just did it that. I'm just not very good at doing that. Ooh boy. Come on. That's too many. That's too many of those. I'm like operating it much too high of a level here. Oh, dang it. This is not looking great. There's the line. 56 lines. Oof. 10,000 points. Try again. No. Still first place though. Hard to beat that. Unless you try a little bit or are good. Let's not overdo it though. B-type. C-type is the one that introduces garbage. I feel like always less interested in that one. B-type is the one that for Christmas Eve I ruined everybody's day and tried to complete on the highest level. So let's do that again. This is how you get an ending though. This is the only way I'm gonna see what the ending of this is. I promise I won't overdo it though. Especially since this is faster than normal. Oh, come on. Got one. Got two. Benedict. Yes, I do want to try again. Okay, all we need is a good drop. That was not it. Okay, I might need some actual skill too. No, not gonna get it. Something actually different about this than the NES version. This feels almost harder in a way. Maybe it is. I don't think the last one went up to speed 20. This feels faster. Feels like I got some forgiveness with the rotation, the lock delay. Ah. It's a strange in-between, because I'm almost expecting more forgiveness with the rotation, but it's not there, so I end up doing a worse job, I think. I still have to be fairly proactive about where it's going. Also, you can time out just by going above. Oh. Nope, couldn't even make it over there in time. 3 lines in a row. Wow, I feel like somebody was throwing me a bone there. I really boned it. Graphics are kind of cool. That's probably all an upgrade, as opposed to... oh, that was not... well, those are just bad pieces to work with. Alright. Five more of these, and then I'll put us all out of our misery. We'll give Bomblis a shot. No. I don't know why. I should just not be trying. Oh. Ah, dang it. Nope. This might be my best one yet, at least. I need 20... what do I start? Yeah, I need 25 lines. It seems like a bit much. What if I got 0? Alright, last one. Oh, probably shouldn't have tried to lay it that way. What am I doing over there? Hey! Alright. No. Hey, number 10. That's about right. Alright, so Bomblis. I'll show you the Cuzzle. The Cuzzle. Great. The Cuzzle pawn test. Just because it's, again, the one. Construction, I kind of have no idea. Also, contest is more of the... you'll see. Okay, so puzzle mode. It's literally on a grid system, so... organized by level, and then what do we do in construction? So the construction fits in with the puzzle mode somehow. So this would be like the hardest one, obviously, right? You know, level 9, puzzle 10. Let's it's done on a difficulty curve, so these first levels are meant to tutorialize you, so it's worth starting with them anyway. So if you make a line with the bombs, they destroy a certain amount. So the puzzle is all about putting the bombs in the right spot, rotating it the right way. That something tells me that's not going to be the one. So, okay, probably this then, right? Bomb on top. There you go. So it's fun. Take my word for it. Also, they put on weird shapes like this one. feel like there's going to be some... Oh, I see. It's got the domino, the triomino, tetraominoes, and pentominoes over there on the right. Shows you all your possible pieces. Not sure that actually helps you, but... Oh, right. So that's another thing you obviously wouldn't see in a normal Tetris game is falling blocks. So you gain the ability to combo, which I don't think has been a thing for Tetris quite yet, right? That was not the right one. So this one's all about teaching you how to combo. See if we can get through the first, because again, this is, I don't know, this seems like not the way to stream, honestly, but nope, okay, well. Let's try you over there and you over there. That's probably it. It made a face that it destroyed with bombs. So this has to be here, right? Oh no. Well, maybe. Nope. Messed it up. Can I not? I must be able to. Yeah, there we go. Made a big one, and then you just complete it. That should take care of the whole screen. There you go. So the bombs combine. I've been tutorialized on that now. Some of this is coming back to me. So last puzzle of this round. That is not going to be it. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. Try that again. Rotate. Why are you not rotating? There we go. That was weird. It wouldn't take the A button. Is it only the B button to rotate? Oh, that wasn't it. That's not going to be it. So I do need to use the other button to rotate. I need the bomb on top. There we go. Weird. Something about the controls I'm not quite getting. It made another face to destroy. Puzzle 10. Oh, is there 10 in a row? Okay, that's fine. Alright, we can do that. That, maybe? No, probably not. Definitely not. So we have... Do we have to? Actually, let's do that. Let's do that, too. There we go. I bet that's it. Yep. There's a visual sense to it that you become in tune with. Okay, so now we're on level 2, puzzle 1. Okay, so... And then that's where it gets a bit crazy. Let's just die and say no. Gives you a bunch of check marks, so my gosh, you can check off a bunch of boxes. How much better could it get? But let's do contest just to send us out. Construction, I would imagine you're literally constructing puzzles, right? Construction 1. Yeah. Look, we're Mario making over here. So let's do one contest, which is kind of a freewheeling. How does that score work? 50? Okay, let's see if we can beat 50. Oh. So it's still kind of a puzzle. Oh, I see, but the pieces are semi-random, so you're still kind of making stuff out of it. So what do I have to do? Get rid of the bomb, or... Oh look, and automatic. Oh yeah, so I did read something about that. It's like either the longer you go without creating a bomb, or if you create lines without a bomb, it will affect the deal. And it makes that sound whenever I get a pure bomb piece. Are Tetris a thing? Probably still should be, right? That's got to be it. Okay. Oh, it's a score per level. Either way, looks like I killed it. 81. Okay, so that introduces something. So top of the screen you're seeing 99, 98. Was that how many pieces I have left? Oh yeah. So I've got a oh, maybe that's what adds to my score. Maybe that's exactly my score, is how many pieces I have left. Oh, that would make sense. How quickly can you complete the puzzle given the pieces that it gives you, which this should do it, right? 92. So what's my score? 92. Yeah, okay, so there you go. Figured that out. Anyway, so. That's Bomblis. I do really, really like it, but I don't think I need to spend a million years on it here. Especially since I'm #1. Thank you for tuning in to see the #1 Bomblis player play this game. It's been great. So next week, with any luck, was that a short one? How long? Yeah, 32 minutes. What the heck? Not too bad. Next week, so there's a version of Tetris for the NEC Mini 5, whatever that is. It sounds like another thing I'm going to have a hard time emulating, but part of what drives me crazy about not being able to do some of these is that they're super pared down, but they're also like monochrome. So they look like super cool versions, or at least really interesting design challenges of Tetris that I would love to actually get, but they're just harder to recreate. So that's going to be my goal, is Tetris for the NEC Mini 5. Failing that, I've kind of been strange, weird story, looking forward to this one. When I decided to do this series, it was like, can I do, how hard is it going to be to go through and emulate or recreate or somehow get these different versions of Tetris? For some reason, the first one I decided to see if I could do, as kind of a proof of concept for this entire series, was Tetris for the CDI. So I'm ready to go on Tetris for the CDI should Tetris for the NEC Mini 5 fall through. So either way, should be an interesting one. Thanks for hanging out, as always. And you can find me at patreon.com/Ryan_runs_. If you want to participate in some of the creation of all this, it's a endless battle of sorts to properly thank anybody that does. I am eternally grateful. I do really appreciate it. So if you want to be amongst, and I've got the title screen up now that has all their names, my current patrons on there. So if you want to be one of those glorious few, please subscribe over there. Or, and this is a little bit different because PayPal doesn't allow you to kind of surface perks or anything like that. So just take my word for it right now. If you end up using PayPal as kind of a tip jar, there's a link not far. I will also include you in the credits for, who knows, maybe forever. That's how thankful I would be. So failing that, you can find me tomorrow at 8 a.m. opening up a new pack of Marvel cards with my daughter Evelyn for the Chasers series. I think we're on pack 6, possibly. So there's quite a few back episodes too, and they're short little digestible episodes. I think you're usually around 10 minutes on those. And then I will have a new episode of Cinematic on Friday at 8 a.m. It is a movie I'm watching for the very first time this week from a director that was not properly represented on my list, certainly in earlier instances. So we're taking a bit of a backwards leap. I think we were in 1989 with Blonde Fury was the last one we did. So this week we're going back to the 70s, I believe, maybe even 79, the year of my birth with, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, just stop watching right now, or don't watch from the very beginning, and then you also won't know that on Friday at 8 a.m. I'm dropping an episode of Cinematic on Last Hurrah for Chivalry, probably. I'm halfway through. The idea is to represent some of John Woo's early works. So yes, Mr. Face Off and Broken Arrow and what have you. There was an exodus of Hong Kong action directors to the States in the 90s that I want to talk about with some degree of familiarity. So I'm going back and doing some of the early works. So John Woo this week, Ringo Lam maybe next week. So either way, thank you as always again, and we'll see you next time.